All right, let's unpack a classic engineering showdown, but from a place you might not expect, the world of Pixar's Cars. We're talking about a fascinating clash between pure brute force power and modern aerodynamic precision.
So let me just ask you this. When you put a high-tech, next-gen racer like Jackson Storm up against an old-school legend like the King, who's gonna win? I mean, the answer seems pretty obvious, right? But what if I told you that what seems obvious is actually totally wrong?
You heard that right. It sounds kind of crazy, but our source material makes this incredible claim. In a straight-up one-on-one speed test, the old champ, the King, would actually leave Jackson Storm eating his dust.
Now, I know what you're thinking. No way, right? That sounds completely backwards. How could a car from a totally different era possibly be faster than a state-of-the-art machine that was built for one thing and one thing only: absolute victory?
And that is the puzzle we're gonna solve today. It's a really cool look at two completely different ideas about speed. It's the brute force engineering of the 1970s going head-to-head with the super smart, sleek design of today. So let's really get to know our contenders here. In one corner, you've got the King, a living legend. And in the other, you have Jackson Storm, the new kid on the block who basically represents the peak of modern racing tech. And here's where it all gets real. See, these characters aren't just cartoons made up out of thin air. They're based on real-world icons. The King is a 1970 Plymouth Superbird, a titan from the muscle car era. And Jackson Storm, he's a mix of modern prototype race cars, built with all the cutting-edge science you can imagine. This is what our whole comparison is built on.
Okay, so how on earth does the King get this surprising speed? Well, it all comes down to the philosophy of his time: raw, unfiltered engine power. Back then, the answer to how do we go faster was simple. Just stuff a bigger, meaner engine in it.
And get this, the power from that way of thinking is just staggering. An unrestricted 1970 Plymouth Superbird in perfect conditions could theoretically hit an absolutely mind-boggling 220 miles per hour. We're talking pure, unadulterated, straight-line fury. And this chart just lays it all out clear as day. When you look at their potential top speeds, the King, that Superbird, has a definite edge. Jackson Storm tops out around 215. So in a drag race, yeah, the old-timer takes the trophy. But, a real race is never just a straight line, is it?
So if the King is faster, how does he end up losing? Well, this is where the big twist comes in. Jackson Storm would still win the actual race, and the reason comes down to one crucial word: aerodynamics. Okay, so what exactly is aerodynamics in this context? Well, basically, it's the science of making a car slice through the air with as little fuss as possible. This doesn't just bump up your top speed, it has a huge impact on how a car handles, especially when you're flying through the turns on a racetrack. To think of it this way, the King's engine is putting out incredible power, but his old-school body is like a brick wall just fighting the air the whole time. Jackson Storm, on the other hand, is designed to work with the air. He can carry way more speed through the corners, brake later, and get on the gas faster on the way out. Over a full race, lap after lap, that efficiency just crushes raw power. It's not even a contest. So this all brings us to the final verdict in this classic engineering trade-off. It's really the perfect battle of the sledgehammer versus the scalpel. Both are powerful tools, right? But they get the job done in totally different ways. And this table just wraps it all up for us perfectly. The King's main weapon? Raw engine power. That's his key advantage, giving him that higher top speed. He's the undisputed king of the drag strip. But Jackson Storm's weapon is that incredible aerodynamic efficiency. It gives him superior performance on race day, when it really matters. And that's why he's the one who's going to win the championship. So this all leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on. As technology just keeps rocketing forward, where does the future of speed really lie? Are we going to see a comeback of just monstrous, powerful engines? Or is the path to victory always going to be paved with smarter, more clever design? What do you think?